Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lagosian's Football Roundtable. We're here to discuss a quick video today. I have the usual suspects on board, and we're going to talk about Arsenal and the best and worst transfers of Arsenal over the past couple of decades. I have the usual suspects here. Totti, how you doing, man?
I did, man. But I know they in a way, sha. But anyway, I'm all right.
Kitibs, welcome to the podcast, man.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Ajifada, welcome, man.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back. Thank you for having me. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about. I'm not an Arsenal fan. Disclaimer: I'm a Man United fan. You can see my hat. If you're watching this video, subscribe using the button below. Like, share, whatever you want to do to support us. We appreciate. Let's start with Totti. Should we start with the best or worst? Give me your top 5 best transfers, and you guys be objective on your own. Top 5 best Arsenal transfers.
I don't want to end on a negative note. I prefer if we start with the worst.
Okay.
And that will be even funny.
That's a good idea. Okay, let's do that then.
So we can end positively, please.
Okay.
There's too much negativity around Arsenal these days.
Yeah, we'll come to that in our coming podcast. So give us your worst 5 Arsenal transfers.
Okay, before I do that, I'll just say my criteria for the worst 5. Obviously, I'm looking at it in terms of in the last decade, more up to maybe the beginning of the Premier League. And my criteria is basically based on the amount we paid for them and the impact, or rather the lack of impact that they had in the team or the Arsenal squad. So, First of all, number 1 has to be Gervinho. We got this man from Leeds for Lille.
Who the heck is Gervinho? I can't remember.
You don't even know him. Only the true Arsenal fans will know Gervinho. He was.
I know him.
I know Gervinho, but he did well when he went on to Roma.
Okay, so
I'm talking about
Arsenal. Not the player. Okay,
I'm talking about Arsenal. So number 1, Gervinho. So we got him 10.8.
No, the worst transfer.
The worst, yes, is the worst because we paid 10.11 million pounds, 10.8 million pounds in 2011. He had 11 goals in 69 appearances. He didn't make an impact for Arsenal at all, and we sold him. I believe we sold him for less than what we got.
That's never a good sign.
So number 2, Francis Jeffers, also an 8 million pound man from Arsenal.
I didn't remember this guy.
My number 1. Guys,
Arsenal fans will know.
Okay.
Arsenal fans will know this man. Francis Jeffers, again, big expectation, 8 million pounds in 2001. Instead of him, what was painful, we were having this guy and Van Nistelrooy. Those were the 2 people we were looking at the same time. We decided on Jeffers from Everton, 8 million pounds, and left Van Nistelrooy to go to Man United. You know the history of what happened next. We sold this guy to Charlton for 2.5 million in 2004. So that's a big loss in 2004. The other one, Sebastian Squillaci, one defender, 6.5 million in 2010. The guy made some terrible errors.
That was the Arsene Wenger era. A lot of bad transfers, 2011.
Then another, number 4, is Andre Santos, left fullback from Fenerbahce, very soapy player.
I remember him.
2010. We got that guy in 2011. And then the last, Park Chu-young, one Korean guy we got from AS Monaco. He only made 10 appearances, 5.5 million pounds, failed. So I think that's my top 5. Some people will say Chamak, but Chamak was a free transfer. I can't look at free transfer because we didn't pay.
Chamak, so I won't be surprised if Chamak is on his list. Ajifada, your worst 5 Arsenal transfers. Let's go.
Well, for me, I think I agree with. Actually, 3 of my 5 were on your list. That is Jeffers, Squillaci, Park Chu-young as well. But also, of course, for me, I'll ask Shamak whether you are free or you are not free. The key thing is, you are playing for Arsenal. That's one of the biggest clubs in the world, and we expect you to deliver. And we all know how underperforming Shamak was. So he's number 4 for me. And then I also had Sylvester. I think for him, he came to Arsenal towards the end of his career. And Arsenal, we do this thing where we get players a lot of the time for Man United, they are done and they are dead when it comes to football terms.
Same
Even from Chelsea as well. And then they come to Arsenal and nothing happens. There are people that should retire in the first place. As if we ignore the stats from where they are coming from. So that will round up my own top five. Jeffers, Kelechi, Park Chu-young, Silvestre, and Sharma.
Okay, Kitibs, your worst 5 transfers in Arsenal history.
Well, I think I have most of the list that you guys have talked about, but my number 1 is Francis Jeffers. I mean, it has to be and it was a bad signing. Number 2 for me, my did not deliver. It was just not good for nothing player to the best of my knowledge. Sorry for my language. Number 3 is Sebastian Squillaci, because I felt we bought him to solidify defense, but that was not the case. So number 4, Andre Santos, the Brazilian. There were lots of hype about him when he came in. We thought he will solidify later. And number 5 for me is Patrick. I remember when I first was this going to do, and he never delivered. I have no single memory about him, and I'm a very good Arsenal player. Arsenal fan. So if I can't remember you, that means you were very, 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 very poor. So those are my worst 5 signings.
Okay, let's circle back. Totti, the top five Arsenal transfers. Start from 5 and go all the way to 1. So we're finishing 1.
Okay, so if I start from number 5, it's Robert Pires. And the truth is there are so many great players that cannot make a top 5 list. I'm sure you understand. So everyone will have their own individual choices. Mm-hmm. But Robert Pires was a big-time player. We got him for really not an expensive amount, £6 million from Marseille back in 2000. And he won 2 titles, was part of the 2001-2002 champion winning side, and also the Invincibles of 03-04. So that's my number 5. Number 4, and there are quite a bit, number 4 is a player that for once Arsenal got from a rival, if I can call them rival, the right way. So Campbell, free transfer from Spurs. And the guy was critical. Part of our double, won the double, I think in 01-02. No, won the title in 2001 and 2, and also part of the Invincibles. Critical player and these guys are players that they had impact. Number 3, this guy wasn't part of the Invincibles, but Bergkamp, Dennis Bergkamp, in my opinion, is
Bergkamp wasn't number 1 on your list. Okay.
Everyone has their own. And I wanted to say my list is based on a number of things. One is the number of titles you won for the club. 2, so people that won 2 titles, I give them a little more weight than people that won 1. Beckham won 1. 2 is if you are part of that invincible winning squad, that also gives you bonus marks because that's a feat that has not been repeated since. Okay. So Beckham, he was great. He came, and also third consideration, how much we paid for you. If we paid a cheaper amount, and I think we got a good deal, that's also it. So Campbell being free, that's why he's number 4, and he won 2 titles with Arsenal. Beckham, £7.5 million from AC Milan Inter in 95. And he won the 97-98 title. Everybody knows this guy was a masterful, skillful footballer. He's my number 3 of all time. Number 2, people will say this is controversial. Thierry Henry. We got him £11 million from Juve in 99. He won 2 titles, of course, 2001, and then part of the Invincible teams, FA Cup, highest goal scorer, player of the year multiple times. It's very close between him and number 1.
So who's your number 1?
But I think number 1.
Who is the number 1? I want to know.
Patrick Viera, £3.5 million from AC Milan.
Okay.
He won 3 titles. He won the 97-98 title. He also won 01-02 and captain of the 03-04 side. The best Arsenal captain ever, in my opinion. Patrick Viera is my number 1.
Yeah, nice. And one thing that I'll support you in the way you ranked yours was Vieira has not been replaced since he left. Henry, you got a close, not perfect replacement in Oba, but some kind of replacement you get. But Vieira has not been replaced. Ajifada, let's hear yours, man. Your top 5 Arsenal transfers.
Well, for me, I feel like, talking about Arsenal transfers, I think if you look at the past, you have to look at the year in which Arsenal broke records. And that is the year of the invisible year. So I think there's no way you can talk about Arsenal's best signings without listing your top 5 from that particular season, in my own opinion. So everybody that is my top 5 should have something to do, ideally with that particular season.
Thank you.
And also, in a way, I try to prioritize strikers because I believe in the fact that, you need goals to win championships. You have to be contributing to the team, by goal scoring. But again, I have a passion for Sol Campbell. I felt like he fought hard for Arsenal. Since he left Arsenal, we have not been the same. Since Sol left, since Vera left, since Henry left, that was like the spine of the team. So those three players have to be my best 5. So I think I'll start with Sol Campbell. It was a free transfer from Spurs, and of course his career is is in front of us. What he achieved with the football team. So my number 5 will be Sol Campbell. I like Anelka. I like Anelka. I think Anelka is a crazy guy. That is restless. Wants to be everywhere at the same time. He wants to play for Juventus, Real Madrid, Arsenal in the same season. So, but I have a soft spot for Anelka just because he's a striker. He's a pure 9, and he commits to every ball. You don't see a game off. He plays with his heart. So I have to put Anelka somewhere in there. So I'll put Anelka for me as number 4. For number 3, I've been thinking about this, back and forth. But I like Beckham. He was 7.5 million buy at Arsenal. But without Beckham, we wouldn't have seen the best of Henry. So I have to put Beckham somewhere in there. So number 3 for me is Beckham. Number 2 for me is Patrick Viera. I think Vera, should have a statue at Arsenal, because he means so much to that club. And once we sold him to Man City, of course, we never recovered from that as well. Number 1 for me has to be...
Juventus. It was Juventus.
Okay, it was Juventus. So, Vieira too. Number 1 for me has to be... I'm not sure what thought he's drinking or smoking. I don't know. He has a statue at the club. That says it all. So for me, number 1 has to be Henry. I can't talk about Henry. I don't think I'm qualified to talk about what he did for the club. Every game he played his heart. Every single game he was committed. We saw what Arsenal did today, and we saw what Oba was looking like. You are the captain of the freaking club. Just show up. Like you're pretty much right now the highest paid player in that team. Just freaking show up and put in some effort.
Chief,
it's ridiculous.
We'll talk about that one in a bit.
But so number 1 for me, has to be Henry. 30, you need some gin and tonic, okay?
So let me interject. I'm not talking about who is the best or who is the greatest or who is we're talking about the best signing, meaning you did some business signing and the impact they had in the club.
30. Without Henry, Arsenal would not have Emirates Stadium today.
Okay.
Because we will win nothing. We have no money.
Let's give
we won 97-98 without him.
That was just one team. That wasn't the legacy.
With Vera.
You know what I mean? Without Henry, we won't have that stadium. Without Henry, Arsenal could easily be Fulham today.
Okay.
Easily.
Tips, maybe you're going to be the decider here. Let's see how you rank your top 5 Arsenal transfers.
Yeah.
Go.
So thank you, guys. My top 5 rankings, the criteria that I use, of course, is quite not simple. Most of the players that made my top 5 played in the invisible squad, and that's to me the greatest Premier League team. So 4 of my 5 played during that time very well. And also, before I start my list, I also have a list called outside looking in list. That is, they should have made the list, but they could not break in.
And give you exam,
so,
you go
yeah.
you put extra paper back.
Extra paper. Extra questions.
Extra questions. No, feel free. We have time, so you can add it.
So just for me, just for me to start, my top 5 content of the Invisible Squad, and now my number 5 is Sol Campbell. We got him free, a transfer from our North London rivals, and it made immediate impact. And we've not been the same. To me, from when I started, now very well. I think that very well. That has been the best defender we had. Number 4, my list is actually a goalkeeper, Jens Lehman. He was
the first goalie making the list.
But yeah, Invisible Squad. And for every champion, for every good, successful team, there's the goalkeeper, one midfielder, and one attack. So Campbell is my number 5 defender. My 4 is Jens Lehman. I remember the game, the semi-final, the only time Arsenal got to the Champions League 2006. That semi-final, he kept the penalty for Villarreal striker. What's that guy's name? I can't remember his name. That Argentina guy, and he made that save, and Arsenal qualified for the Champions League in 2006. So Jens Lehman is my number 5. Number 3 is Dennis Bergkamp. Yeah, because I remember Dennis Bergkamp has a statue in front of probably the most skillful player we ever. I mean, his touch, his control, everything. Skill. When it comes to aesthetic skills, I really love him. One of his goals is the Premier League goal we could ever have. And number 2 is Patrick Viera. He was the captain personified from 97 to 98. He was there. 2001, 2002 was there. 2003, 2004. He was there. He's a defender. He doesn't hide. He leads by example.
He does not hide.
He tackles.
Thank you, sir.
He does not
Thank
hide.
you, sir.
He's strong.
Doesn't hide.
He is the best Arsenal captain ever.
He can score. He can initiate better
offense
and attack.
And one quick tip in, sorry to cut you short. You rarely see Patrick Viera passing backwards to the keeper. You rarely.
Yeah. He's so skillful. He's so skillful. He's control. When the boys see him, they know you have to. I remember Henry said it once in the French league, in the French national team. He said whenever he sees Zidane and Vera struggling, trying to recover balls from the up, he has no reason to be playing now. So, and my number 1, of course, one and only, the greatest Arsenal player ever.
Okay, Tati, you lose here, man.
No, I have my list 2 players outside looking in. One is the first one is my favorite Arsenal player. No. Fabregas. I love Fabregas. He was young from Barca, and he made an impact. It's so painful he left, He left for Barcelona then, but I love him. And then the other player is Gilberto Silva. We forgot without Gilberto, we may not have had that Invisible Squad. And one thing Gilberto did, let me make a comment. He went 38 games. Between 2003 season and season that we won, that were in the Invisible, 38 games, a defensive midfielder that his role is to recover the ball with no yellow card. That has never been repeated. Clean.
Boys, thank you so much.
That is my list.
Exciting debate. So it's somewhere between Beckham, Vieira, and Henry. However you rank it. So if you're watching this video, feel free to leave the comments down below. How would you rank your top 5 transfers? Looks like the top 3 consensus is Dennis Bergkamp, then either Vieira number 2 or Henry number 2. and the other way around for number 1. So thank you so much, guys. Subscribe to the channel, listen to our videos, follow us at Lagosian NYC on social media. Thank you so much.